What's going on? Y'all know what the business is. Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. Put in a nightcap real quick. And to trade or not trade Golden Tate, all right? You know, a lot of people against Golden Tate. The Lions fans love to hold on to players, and I have a different, unique perspective to a certain extent, okay? Let's talk about it, all right? Golden Tate is a really, really good player, really productive player. Made a lot of great highlights, made some boneheaded plays like any other player on the National Football League, okay? Definitely like Golden Tate. You know, have no issue with him. But do you really want to see a situation when Ndamukong Suh here, you know, where Golden Tate don't sign a deal, you know, next offseason he walks and goes to the, I don't know, the New York Giants or goes to the Jets or goes to the Falcons or goes to wherever he goes, and you get nothing for him, okay? The question is, do the Lions believe they can get a deal or they want to re-sign Golden Tate? Which some cap room clears up because you don't plan on bringing back Zeke Ansah. You know, Zeke Ansah didn't have a monster year. You know, he's continued to be injured. He wasn't at the game Sunday. They brushed it off as no big deal. He had been practicing. He on his way back. But we know most Lions fans feel and most insiders feel that Zeke Ansah is going to be an afterthought. And, you know, you probably get that Lion fan. Why we just don't trade Zeke Ansah? Nobody wants Zeke Ansah. He's old, broke up, beat up. He's an afterthought, okay? That's just the fact. The fact of the matter is. But if the Lions don't plan on bringing back Golden Tate, then you must move him. And, yes, he's on the radar of candidates that are expected to be moved towards a contender. Aficionados don't think the Lions will make the playoffs. They believe the Lions have a lot of depth at receiver with Jones and Galladay and potentially Brandon Powell and T.J. Jones. And they believe that Golden Tate is a prime candidate to be moved. If it makes you feel any better, the Chicago Bears haven't been running the ball effectively like they did last year with a pass-happy coach at Matt Nagy, whatever his name is, coming from Kansas City. You know, Andy Reid's history and his coach trees are used to throwing the ball a lot. And Jordan Howard is on the trade block, okay? So, you know, just saying. My personal opinion, I already said it, bro. I would get rid of the Golden Tate. Said it before the offseason. People didn't understand where I would come from. I told you Golden Tate will have a good year. And I was from the same standpoint of Calvin Johnson. I seen a decline in Calvin Johnson before anybody seen it. And I would tell these people that I would talk sports with, no, you got to trade Calvin, man. Get value for him, bro. And people would say I was crazy about trading Calvin. You can't trade a name. But as I look for the same thing with Ndamukong Suh, if I knew they weren't going to bring back Suh, I said trade him. And if you look here, man, if you're not winning with them, okay, you know, and you got to trade him, bro. You got to do something different. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting the same results. That's what the Lions were doing with Ndamukong Suh, Calvin Johnson, and Matthew Stafford taking up the large majority of the cap space. Okay, Golden Tate been here, 4 or 5 years. Okay, you haven't won a playoff game. And some people say the same thing with Matthew Stafford. I wouldn't argue that, bro. He's the one constant now that Ndamukong Suh and Calvin Johnson has moved on. You know, we doing the same thing with the same quarterback is insanity and getting the same result, no playoff wins. Make it to playoff, can't get a win. Okay? But I'm not saying that Golden Tate is part of the problem. I'm saying that I seen Golden Tate, you lose a step, or you want to say a half step here in Detroit, and I don't think he's going to be productive for another 3 or 4 year contract. So you move him. You get an asset for him. You don't commit large money. Why would you commit number one money of any kind of the top 10, top 15 number one receivers to a receiver that's limited to playing the slot, to a receiver that is aging, to a receiver that's approaching 30, you know, to a guy that's undersized, don't have the quickness or the speed to get downfield when you got Kenny Galladay, okay? When you got Marvin Jones, who kind of been slow since the injury in camp. I feel you on that. But receivers become a dime a dozen. You've seen they found Kenny Galladay in the 4th round. Bob Quinn can look like he can evaluate a receiver. Now, if Kenny Galladay or Marvin Jones wasn't in the picture, I would understand keeping Golden Tate. But you got to let me know right now, are you going to sign? Are you planning on believe you can sign Golden Tate right now? Or you can believe you can sign him in the offseason? Then, okay. Because the money is there because Zeke Ansah won't be coming back. You believe Brandon Powell or T.J. Jones can assume that slot receiver duty? Do you have a plan to go get another receiver in the offseason, draft another receiver? Okay, or you, whatever the case may be. Okay, we know Jim Bob Cooter may not be the offensive coordinator. Bob Quinn have a brain, and Matt Patricia have a brain. But like I'm saying, you got to be able to cut bait with players before they lose a step or two. And then you don't get nothing for them. You just sit there looking in the rain. Okay, and I'm telling you guys, Golden Tate has lost a step, and he will next contract. My intuition tells me, numbers in the NFL tells me, the history of the NFL tells me that he will not be a top tier 1 or 2 or 3, probably three receiver in his next contract, with the second contract with the Lions. That's an actual fact. That's going to be an actual fact, excuse me. So in my opinion, even if they don't plan to bring Golden Tate back, or they do, I would trade him right now. Because he is not going to fulfill and be a strong number 1 candidate, number 2 or 3 receiver strong, listen to the adjective, through his next contract. You already see the decline in him, where he lost a step, or he don't have that burst of speed that he wants to have, and he already undersized. In my opinion, I cut bait with him, I get an asset for him, I move on. And people say, well, the Lions have no shot at winning the Super Bowl this year. And I think making the playoffs is bleak, and winning the playoff game are even bleaker than that. So you acquire a pick for him, maybe a 3rd round. If you can really get into a contender that need him, maybe a 2nd round pick for him. I think more of a 3rd, 4th at the lowest. Okay? You move on. You clear that cap space up. You clear Zeke Yancey up. You got plenty of cap space next year. But if the Lions kept him, it is what it is. But it's just going to be another case of I told you so. I know when these athletes are about to hit the decline, man. But that's my opinion. Let me know how you feel. Motor City Sports Talk. One time for the one time. We're going to continue to grind. And y'all know what it is. We gone.